Hey guys, my name is Nora Franch, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at CatholicMindsetCoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessed Mess Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. All right, we're reading from Voices of Recovery because it's been speaking to me more lately. I know I haven't used it as much in the past, but here we are. So we're reading from August 12th, page 225. Just staying abstinent, if that's all I can do today, is reaching for recovery. And that's from the OA Reader for Today, page 167. Abstinence is where my recovery begins. That is the quote-unquote food I need to reach for. That is where insanity ends and serenity begins. Once I got a taste of serenity, I wanted more and more. The feeling of freedom from food is incredible. I have learned to ask for help from God, my sponsor, and my group. I have learned to tackle new problem foods in order to get more recovery. What I want to reach for now is not more food, but more recovery. Am I calling someone? Am I getting to meetings? Am I praying daily? Am I being grateful in prayer? Am I reading? Am I working the steps? Am I asking God to make me willing? When tempted, I ask God to help me reach for more recovery instead of more food. I like that visual. It's almost like in the pantry. I want to be reaching for God, not some snack, because really that's the God-sized hole we're all trying to fill with whatever substance we go to is our desire for God. That's what I keep hearing. That's what I keep learning about. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like I want that thing. But I'm convinced that that is just my misinterpretation. It's like lost in translation to me of what that deepest desire of my heart is for. And it's for that spiritual, filling of God, my higher power. Okay, so just staying abstinent, if that's all I can do is reaching for recovery, 100%. That's where we have to start. We have to be clean of whatever it is we're using. We have to, otherwise we can't even think straight. And none of the rest of this is very useful. Because not that it doesn't matter. So even if you are using or not clean, not, you're in the food, you're off the wagon, whatever it is, even if you're in your disease, you are still good. You still have value, even in your disease. That was something that rocked me when I was still eating all the time. And it helped me to keep coming back. And that was huge. So know that and hold that close to your heart, because even in your disease, you have value and you are doing the work by showing up at a meeting. So don't discard that. That being said, it's hard to move forward in the steps when you're still using your substance. So we want to make sure that at the end of the day, if all you've done is stay abstinent, that is a job well done that day. And you're doing it with the help of your higher power and everything. And so it has this whole list of things that are you doing this and this and this and this? And it can sound like a lot. And, in a way it is. That's why not a lot of people stick with the 12 steps, because it is a little bit demanding what they suggest that you do. But I was listening to something else, not 12-step related, some psychologist that I like to listen to. And he mentioned how, he was encouraging people to do this like personal work daily. And he was saying like, it's just not something that we're taught is important or necessary to work on ourselves. That for some reason we just assume that we should be able to just like function. Like we grow up through childhood and then it's just like, okay, out the gates, go. And, physically, a lot of people now can realize like, no, you need to exercise like daily in order to keep your physical fitness, and you need to shower daily in order to stay clean. And in certain circles, they recognize, yes, you should pray daily in order to stay connected to God. But it's very rare for someone to do their own like self-awareness work daily, so that emotionally, their interior life that I talk about, your own inner thoughts, feelings, and like motives, desires, the actions that follow from that. If you aren't daily working on being aware of what's going on internally, things are just going to shoot out sideways. And you're just going to do actions that you don't even quite understand because you just didn't realize that something was brewing. And it's not something that we're taught for some reason. It's just not something that we're taught, that we need to be daily mindful of these things. So that is the call. That is the clarion call of the 12 steps and me personally. All right. So I wanted to comment on this other thing, because at the meeting yesterday that I was at, there was someone on there who was talking about how good it felt to be abstinent. And I was just like so happy for this woman, because she was just so joy-filled. She had 9 days of abstinence, like clean eating. And she was just like, she knew that it's just the beginning. She wasn't saying like she's in the free and clear, but she was just so happy because of the energy she had, the way she wasn't isolating because she wasn't in shame. And she even, called a friend and connected with a friend because she wasn't spending all her time eating and then like in a comatose state from that. And I was just so happy for her. And it was a really good reminder of something that I need to remember to be grateful for, is like the fact that I am able to engage with the world and show up for things, and I don't feel sick and gross and out of touch and out of it and all these things, because I get to be abstinent today. And that feeling of freedom is incredible, like they say here. And yeah, so I can make this more specific about OA, but that's not the point. I'll save that for my meetings. I just want to encourage you all to give yourself the grace to try to just stay abstinent for this minute. If you're listening to this podcast in the morning, chances are you are sober. Chances are you're abstinent. Chances are you haven't, used anything today. And you did it. You did it. Like, you're so many minutes or hours into the day and you're still clean. Well done. Okay? Now, can you do that for the next hour? And at the end of that hour, can you call a fellow? And then pray for the grace to make it another hour. I think you can. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. But more than that, it's important to me to give listeners like yourself a place where you do not need to feel alone on your 12-step journey. And for that reason, I've created a Facebook group. It's called Grateful Blessed Mess. And it's a place where listeners can go to add their own commentary on the share for the day, in addition to my own, and for us just to have a conversation or start a back and forth where people can find support in their 12-step journey. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess. And I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.